Hello, my name is Dave Allen, and I'll be applying for the Assistant Director of Online Learning position at BYU Hawaii. I was born in San Francisco, California. Lived there for 8 months. It was great. And then my parents moved a couple different places, but ended up in Arizona when I was about 5. And grew up in Arizona and went to high school out there. And then when I graduated from high school, I served a mission in Houston, Texas, where I spoke Texan, which was a little difficult since they didn't even teach that at the MTC. Following my mission in Houston, I went to BYU in Provo, graduated with my bachelor's degree in psychology. After graduating with a bachelor's in psychology from BYU, I went out to the Washington, D.C. area and ended up getting a job with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. For them, I worked in the department known as the NetSmarts Workshop, which is an internet safety education program for kids. Here are a couple examples of the work I did for them. The first one is called NetSmarts Agents. In this one, kids about age 10 to 12 could play this game where they were like a secret agent and were looking for a child that was in distress. They worked with Nettie and Webster that you see there on the screen, and looked to find clues to find out which of the internet bad guys were involved in capturing Derek and in notifying law enforcement where he was and how to find him. This next example is a piece more for teenagers called Julie's Journey. And in Julie's Journey, this is an actual story of a girl a 13-year-old girl who developed a relationship with a 56-year-old man. Both of these pieces, NetSmarts Agents and Julie's Journey, I was able to work on. I headed up the team that put them together and worked on various aspects, including even some of the graphical aspects and the programming aspects, and as well as leading other team members and directing them in different creative aspects. Following my work at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, I ended up moving back to Arizona, where I got a master's degree in educational technology. Following graduation from Arizona State University and getting the master's, I got a job with University of Phoenix, and I've actually been there for the last 5 years, where I've worked as an instructional designer. My main duty with University of Phoenix as an instructional designer has been to review the courses and act as a consultant on those courses, everything from high school level up through PhD level, and all sorts of different subject matter areas. Some examples of the work that I've done there. Here's an example of a training I put together for instructional designers and developers, in which I taught them principles of creating effective flow charts and storyboards. Here's an example of documentation that I created for our department, the Instructional Design and Development Department, on how to write effective test questions. This example here is a storyboard that I created for instructional multimedia, and I worked with one of our other instructional developers in creating this storyboard and made sure it was very detailed so that our graphic artists knew what they needed to create for this instructional multimedia. Finally, this last piece is an example of the flow chart I created, which has laid out a course evaluation process I developed for the School of Business, which is the largest college here at University of Phoenix. Along with my work with University of Phoenix, I've also done some contract work for various companies. One company I worked with was Root Learning, and one of our major clients for them was MedImmune, which is a pharmaceutical company. Here's an example of an e-learning module I created for them on analytical testing, very complex testing procedures that they would go through at MedImmune. And as you can see here, there's both text content, audio content, and visual content that they could interact with as they went through the different slides of this piece. So that's pretty much a summation of my work experience and a little bit about me and where I grew up, where I went to school. I had the opportunity just this last year to visit Hawaii, and I went to both Maui and Oahu, and I was able to experience the beautiful scenery of Hawaii, to go hiking, to go snorkeling, got a visit into the temple and the Polynesian Cultural Center, and of course enjoyed some delicious banana pancakes from the Hugulau Cafe. So that's a little bit about me, and I look forward to meeting with you and interviewing with you soon. Thanks.